Hey everybody, welcome back to the SaxTuition YouTube channel. My name's Jeremy, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about thumbs. Now, already you might be scratching your head thinking, what possible effect can our thumbs have on our saxophone playing? And the answer to that is that they can actually make a huge difference, improving the speed and accuracy of our fingering, helping to avoid any stiffness or injury in our hands, and even improving our saxophone tone. How on earth can they do that? Well, stick around and find out. And of course, if you're just starting the saxophone from scratch and you're not sure where to start, check out the SaxTuition Beginner Series. You can watch lesson 1 right here on YouTube, and I've put a link to that in the description below. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, we have a pivot point here where our neck strap connects to the saxophone. And what our thumbs do is keep the saxophone stable and in balance when we play. The way we achieve that stability is by gently pressing outwards with our thumbs. And what you should notice is that by simply resting your fingers on the keys but not pressing anything down, you should have perfect control over your saxophone. It shouldn't be flailing about as you play. Now, on your right hand thumb rest, you'll notice here that you have this little hook that curves around. And a common mistake that beginners make is thinking that it's designed that way because you're supposed to take all or some of the weight of the saxophone with your right hand thumb. But that's simply not the case. If you feel pressure on the right hand thumb, or if it gets sore after an extended period of practice, that's a pretty clear sign that you have to pull your neck strap up closer towards you. Now, getting this balance right is really fundamental to playing the saxophone and can actually make a big difference to your tone. If your neck strap isn't set up to the correct height, the angle of the mouthpiece in your mouth is going to be all wrong, and chances are you'll have to stoop down with your neck in order to play. And all of that can have a massive effect on your tone. But perhaps even more critical than your right hand thumb is your left hand thumb. By now, you probably know that the job of the left hand thumb is to operate the octave key. Now, when a lot of beginners first start out, they make this kind of movement with their thumb. They take it all the way off the thumb rest, and then they press down the octave key. So there's really two issues with this kind of movement. Firstly, the second that we take our thumb off the thumb rest, we lose some of the stability of our saxophone. It's very easy for your mouthpiece to inadvertently move around in your mouth as you're playing, hence compromising your tone. And the second issue is that at faster tempos, it's very difficult to pull off that kind of movement in a fast and efficient way. The solution to that is to use the bony part of your thumb that sticks out a little bit and keep that anchored on the thumb rest at all times. And then what you'll do is you just want to rock it forward as you play, just like that. Now, there are actually two more key points about using your thumbs that I want you to take away with you. The first thing is make sure you don't wrap your thumbs around the saxophone as you're playing, particularly if you've got smaller hands. The moment you do that, you give yourself less room for your fingers to reach the keys. And you might actually find yourself having to really curl your fingers around to reach them properly, which can lead to fatigue and even eventually some RSI if you're getting aches in your hands and you're playing for long periods at a time. The other consideration is for people with double jointed thumbs. Now, I've seen this happen before where students can have their left hand thumb bent back quite a long way when they're just resting their thumb on the thumb rest. Now, I don't have any double joints myself, so I can't really demonstrate this to you, but even though it may feel perfectly natural for them at the time, what it does, it actually forces their wrist to drop a bit, and then by extension forces them to curl their fingers around more as they play, which can create stiffness and is definitely not the most efficient way to play. Now, general rule of thumb, pardon the pun, is to keep your wrists level when you play and only drop your wrists momentarily when you want to play one of the palm keys. This allows your fingers to move freely and minimizes any risk of injury. Now guys, I know that was a lot of information for you compressed into a small video, but as you can see, so many of the core aspects of playing the saxophone just comes from the position of our thumbs. So just to summarize again, we want to gently push outwards with our thumbs on the saxophone in order to create the balance around that pivot point on the neck strap. If you notice any pressure on your right hand thumb, make sure you pull your neck strap up towards you. Keep your left hand thumb anchored on the thumb rest at all times and simply rock it forward to press the octave key. Avoid wrapping your thumbs around the saxophone too much, causing your fingers to curl inwards. And finally, if you're double jointed, make sure your thumb isn't bent back in a double jointed position when you're playing. So the next time you get your saxophone out, stand in front of a mirror, take note of where you're placing your thumbs, and share your observations in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. Well guys, if this video has been useful to you, please hit like and subscribe to the SaxTuition YouTube channel for more great saxophone content. And remember, if you're just starting out on the saxophone and you're looking for some direction, check out the SaxTuition Beginner Series. You can watch lesson 1 right here on YouTube or head to saxtuition.com to get the entire series. There's 12 lesson videos, a 68-page ebook, and over 200 demo tracks for you to play along with. Well, thanks again for watching and supporting the channel, guys, and I'll see you all again soon.